Was your narcolepsy medication a gateway drug for Coke? No. And are you still allowed the prescription Coke? You mean the narcolepsy med? Yeah. Modafinil. I have that. I also have Adderall. Just a tiny dose though. It's funny. A retard suggested that I would be like abusing my Adderall dosing. I get 10 milligrams of Adderall and I get 30 a month. And I don't know if you know this, but you don't get to refill Adderall like more than your prescription. they don't they don't they don't do that. You don't get to like do early refills or anything. So there's 300 milligrams of Adderall total for 30 days. Abusing it, it's not very much from what I hear. I think people do like 70 milligrams at a time or something like that to really kick it up. 50, I'm not sure. But no, I specifically like I don't use the Adderall for I use it for very small bursts of like whatchamacallit. First of all, Adderall, I've never had Adderall do anything more than just mildly keep me awake. But that's because I only use it for spot fatigue for my narcolepsy. When I get stressed out a lot is usually when it happens, but when I get stressed out, my narcolepsy kicks in a little harder. And so it's nice to have something just that isn't an all day thing. Like my modafinil is like, that's all day. That's 12 hours or whatever. But, just a 10 milligram boost of Adderall helps get through those things. So yes, I'm still allowed to have anything I'm prescribed. And, I have that. I don't know. It is not the same by any stretch of the imagination. Believe me. But that's fine. Like, you know, Coke is very intense in its own way. It's a lot. Like I say you wouldn't want to do it all day, all the time. You kind of do, but it gets really exhausting. Whereas these are both much more subtle. Don't worry, Nick. Only 5 more long, crushing years of no booze or cocaine for you. It's really not that big of a deal. The principle behind it is way more annoying than the practical aspect of it. I do think that's one, you know, I mildly disagree with something a lot of people say. They say, oh, you get this stuff out of the way in your 20s or whatever. I get the sentiment from let's see, from sort of a life progression standpoint. Obviously, I had kids, which is a big thing that a lot of people had problems with, is that I was doing this stuff while having children, and though, like, again, I kept it away from the kids all the time. They had no idea it was in the house. They've never seen drugs. They've never seen us on drugs or anything like that. That being said, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter that you could like try and be safe and do all that stuff. When you have kids, you have a family, like that's just way too much risk to expose them to. And that was just that was me being stupid, man. There's no way around that. So that said, one thing I disagree with, all in a vacuum, I actually think that that there may be some advantages to doing drugs later in life rather than earlier in life. One thing I don't think people consider is like, I didn't really drink until I was about 35, and I didn't do any drugs until I was 40, which means I spent a lot of time as an adult not doing those things. Going back to them is really, really easy. It's actually easier than I expected. So I'm not too concerned with it, but you know, doesn't matter.